The gate was a safety gate they had owned for 2 years without incident. It was the pressure-mounted kind with a 2-step release mechanism that required adults to push and lift simultaneously, designed specifically to be too complex for a toddler to operate. And it had been for 2 years without exception. What it had not been designed for was a 2-year-old who had in the past month developed the physics intuition to push and swing without intending to release, which created, when done from the right angle with the right force, a swing that could pop the bottom pressure mount free. Thomas Brennan discovered this mechanism after the fact, not before. His son Declan was 2 years and 7 months. The staircase gate was at the top of the stairs, hardware installed, which had been their solution after Declan had demonstrated the vulnerability of pressure-mounted gates downstairs. They had 2 gates, pressure at the bottom of the stairs going up from the main floor, hardware at the top of the second-floor landing going down to the basement stairs. Both had been in place for 8 months. Their dog was a 3-year-old Australian shepherd named Patch. Patch was not working dog-trained. He was family dog-trained, which meant he sat, caned, stayed, and knew the difference between a good day and a bad day, which is more than a lot of training programs cover. On the afternoon of the 11th of March, Thomas stepped into the kitchen from the second-floor office for what he estimated was between 8 and 12 seconds, to retrieve a charging cable. He did not hear anything. When he returned to the hallway, Declan was at the top of the staircase, and the gate was open. And Patch was between them. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe, so you don't miss the next one. Patch was not in front of Declan. He was sideways to him, between Declan and the open gate, his body at a right angle to the staircase, physically filling the gap. Declan had his hand on Patch's back and was apparently investigating this development with the focused interest he applied to all obstacles. Patch was still. He was not playing. He was placed. Thomas crossed the hallway in 3 steps. He took Declan back from the gate. He closed the gate. He looked at it. The bottom pressure mount had popped free. The gate had been open. He stood in the hallway for a moment. He thought about the 8 to 12 seconds. He thought about the distance from the office door to the top of the staircase, which was approximately 12 feet. He thought about a 2-year-old's walking speed and a staircase that dropped 9 steps to a hardwood landing. The math was not complicated. Has your pet ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. He sat down on the hallway floor. Patch came and sat next to him. Declan climbed into his lap, because Declan climbed into everything that was at lap level. They sat there for a while, the 3 of them, until Thomas felt like he was back in the present moment, rather than the 1/8 seconds later, where things had not gone the same way. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. The pressure gate was replaced with a hardware gate the following weekend. Thomas had the hardware checked on both existing gates. He wrote a review of the gate that had failed, specifically describing the swing mechanism vulnerability, which had 412 people mark it as helpful. Patch still moves to the gate position any time Declan is in the hallway and the gate is open. Thomas has stopped wondering whether this is trained or instinct. Some things you accept as a category of its own. The next story involves a family's cat who alerted to something in their new home's water system before any test had been run.